How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with another episode of Historic Brawl. Today we're actually checking out a new Rith deck, and I'm changing up the intro a bit. Generally, I'm just hopping into a game, but I've had multiple requests to post deck lists in the description, and I don't generally, but I try to always remember, and I don't always, so I figured we'd open up with just looking at a screenshot of the deck. And that way, if I do forget in the future, we can actually just have it in the game or in the beginning of the video so that people can look at it. So we're jumping into game one. Rith is a dragon commander. He's a Naya dragon commander, which does have the traditional dragon color, which is red. Green and white recently have gotten dragon support, so they're not the worst colors for it, right? So I'm going to hold on to Temple of the Dragon Queen until we actually need it. I'm open on plains and a cliff top. Then we'll have Master of the Flower on 4. Hopefully we draw something for 3. So I had 2 decks prepared for today. Well, that's actually just better. Yeah, I had a mono white deck, which was an aura enchantment deck, and this Rith deck. Both are new Dominaria United Commanders, and the issue is the other one is also 5 mana. It's a 5 mana 4/4 that when it enters the battlefield, you put a aura or equipment from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield and attach to it. The issue is with it, it's just a little slow, right? And that was my experience with the deck, right? It was just too slow. I would get to 5 mana and cast my commander, and there would be 6 or 7 other creatures on board. And so, if my commander didn't get the right equipment, it would just die, basically. Give my dragons. Ward again. I'm hoping to hit Ancient Bronze Dragon and get that reduced in cost because it is a very powerful card. We could also go into Flowers if we need to. The fact that the Joda deck is strong on mana is really, really good for us. Because we don't really have a lot of ways to get rid of Joda. I should have played A-Goldspan Dragon just to get out of my hand. Because you know it's going to get hit by Fearsome Whelp next turn.
Do enough.
Oh, it's each one, okay.
No more, no less.
I don't have the monk.
We need not fight here.
But I don't want to telegraph to my opponent. I don't have the monk. Maybe that's telegraphing because I just made it to where my Dragon's Disciple can attack. But we want to get up to 7 loyalty. Here comes Joda. Should have came. Oh wait, no, they don't have a legendary creature to actually do anything. Graveyard. Oh wow, it's not there.
Come be a hero.
You got a counter spell? So next turn we'll be able to cast Ancient Bronze Dragon regardless. I am a little worried that we'll just get murdered when Joda comes down, but that's a bridge we'll have to cross when we come to it, right? That's bad. Creatures and planeswalkers. Okay, so it's not too bad actually. They really should have cast that as a creature. Because if they had cast it as a creature...
Rise to evil's challenges.
They would have been able to cast Yoda. But as it stands, they cannot cast Yoda with the Mox. Because Mox only casts creatures and planeswalkers. You're just dead, right? I can't imagine that you're going to get out of a Bronze Dragon. Hey, Valamakis. You met Valamakis before? I'm a little worried for shenanigans, so we did not turn Grandmaster of Flowers into a creature yet. We'll see if they can actually put an end to us. And they're dead, okay. Good enough. Dragon decks are kind of simple to build, right? Well, they're simple to build if you're building any dragon deck that has red in it, right? Because you have the cost reducers in red, you have the Sarkhan planeswalkers in red, like you have a lot of dragon support in red. And then any other colors you add in just kind of helps it out. You got like the Orbs of Dragonkind, the Orbs of Dragonfire, and there's a lot to work with in red that it just kind of just makes any red-based dragon deck homogeneous in a way. Because you're going to be using the same pieces no matter what deck you're putting together, right? Now that being said, Rith does steer away from other dragon commanders in that you kind of want to deal damage. Like, it's a dragon deck where you want to be blocked, if that's kind of weird, because he'll make a dragon if an opponent's creature is dealt excess damage. So you have, like, burn spells that you wouldn't normally see in other dragon decks, because you're generally, with your other dragon decks, you're going to have either mono red and you're just ramping into the big dragons. We're probably going to take a red source here. Which is now red-blue, but... or blue-green-red. It's a very unique land. Atsushi. Atsushi. Yeah, I think that's right. So next turn we can go into Dragonborn. Actually, we should probably just go Dragonspeaker and swing in like this. And this way we can get down like Dragon Mage or Wrathful Dragon next turn. No blocks. Thank you very much. So if I do this, I'll be able to cast just Ambitious Dragonlord. But it also means we can cast Dragon Mage on the following turn. This is a dragon, by the way. Dragon Barbarian. Speaking of ambitious Dragonborns, our Dragonborn has not been very ambitious recently. But, yeah, it's to be expected, right? Double, so it's a 4-4, 4-5. Yeah, that makes sense, really. Probably want this one. I could get my commander too, but we're running out of cards, so I'm willing to get a wheel on board. Honestly, having both cost reducers in an opening hand is just kind of ridiculous. So they had a pretty stacked hand too, since we won't be doing anything this turn. So we got Master of Flowers back. They're gonna need like a Wrath. Or a creature with reach. Well, let's see if this works. Yeah. They just ran out of gas. We're actually going to finish up our quest for the day, too. We'll get another one fairly soon, but this is our third game. We are at 12 minutes. That is impressive, considering we spent a little bit of extra time at the start looking at the deck. I don't know. I like doing it the other way, because you kind of get like a surprise as to what's the deck, but I kind of spoil it in the intro anyway, so a surprise that is pre-spoiled isn't really a surprise, is it? So we're gonna get Orb of Dragonkind next turn. It's a shame we found all of our check lands. Well, this one's not a check land, is it? Could have actually played our check land into this path, and then we would have had an untapped land, but it doesn't particularly matter because
this is my home, and I don't appreciate it when you won't be outsmarting me.
What do I want to get rid of? This is probably my Town-Razer Tyrant. Ideally, what I want to have happen is to draw land, which I did not, and I threw away the only card I could cast. There we go, let's pass. So the ideal there was that Owl is the card in our hand that is most immediately valuable against a Liliana, because when it dies, we still get creatures, even though it's our only creature on the board, you know? Second in the rating of cards valuable against Liliana was Dragon Mage, because whenever it deals combat damage, we all draw 7 anyway, so it can kind of mitigate
I'm tired of your secrets.
the massive amount of discard that's going on. It's not massive, but it is consistent, right? And that's the issue. Do I want another green source, or do I want another red source? Probably another green source. Oh. So, unlike my traditional deck building, I was a little less effective in this circumstance because I went with a like a sorcery ramp package, which is like Into the North, emergent sequence.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
Hey, that's actually pretty decent. If we can get up to 7 mana, I should probably keep Valamarcus actually at this point. Let's make Liliana be less loyal.
You couldn't be more annoying.
Because if we get her, because if we got ulted by her, we would just be done. The game would be over. So they actually paid for an activation, right? Or did they pay for 2?
I'm tired of your.
I'm gonna hold on to Valamarcus. Despite what the game is asking, I will not sacrifice the Orb of Dragonkind. Seems pretty bad. Yeah, they know I'm mana starved, so they're just paying for the tithe. Well, we now own Icingdeath.
Don't overthink things.
So we did lose our Valamarcus. But we kinda... I guess we didn't have to play Icingdeath. Probably just gonna tick down, right? Seems pretty decent. Or are they just planning on killing us this turn? Yeah. They're practically killing us, right?
You won't be outsmarting me.
Gotta say, Liliana is one of the cards from Dominaria United that I'm just tired of at this point. Like in theory she's fun, right? But in practice, when you see her every other standard game, she's not very fun. And I was a fan of old-fashioned Jund, you know, like the fairish Jund to Mount plan was okay in my book, but when mono black alone can do it, that's a little too far. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. You know the deal. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.